The other term I want to address is wet in wet. And wet in wet is when you have a wet paper. You wet your surface of your paper, and this is not the cleanest sheet, it's just a scrap sheet here. And so you wet the surface of your paper, and then you start dropping in color and letting it flow. And of course, a painting that I'm creating using the wet and wet method, if I'm trying to depict shapes, they're going to be very loose and they're going to bleed, and you're going to lose that. Different colors move differently. Did you see how that just spread? Different colors, some move more than others when they hit that wet surface. And as you can see, I'm losing all that definition. That's wet in wet. And it's funny because when I post a painting online, sometimes people will ask me, did you paint that wet in wet? And I don't ever use any one technique exclusively. These techniques are tools. And so I don't paint a whole painting wet and wet. In fact, I don't even like using the term wet and wet because I don't usually wet the surface of my paper before I start painting. The technique I prefer is, I guess, wet on dry is the way to phrase it, to describe it. But what happens is I'll take a lot of pigment, and we talked about that tea or milk layer, and I like a nice inky consistency of paint. And personally, I almost use the milk consistency more, because what I'll do is I'll take a large quantity of pigment here, and I might even drop in other colors, and it's on dry paper so you can see that it's not bleeding, it's not spreading out and going other places. But then what I'll do is I'll come in with a clean damp brush or a clean wet brush, and I'll start to move that color around. And I love doing this because what happens is you get the fluidity of wet on wet, but you also get control. And as you can see, the color is moving, it's doing that lovely fluid stuff that we like, but it's staying within the boundaries where I've painted it. So it's not going onto the dry areas of the page. And of course, if I add a ton of water, and you can see it happening over in the corner here, it might just drip. And sometimes I welcome that. And sometimes I might just bleed that all out across the page. And it's just beautiful. And it gives that look of wet on wet, but it gives you the control. You decide where it goes and how it moves. And I want you to see something else. Let's grab some color here. When I take this color, it goes where I move my brush. It follows where I've suggested that it go. So I pulled my brush downward, and even this color that's bleeding out is bleeding downward. And then of course I can tilt my paper to kind of encourage it further. And that happens if I were to add water to the edge of a wash. Like here, I pull back, that color follows my brush. If I take water and push in, the color follows my brush. It follows the water and the current, I guess, of the water, although it's not a creek, it's just moving water. And I've told it where to go with the way I've moved my brush and the direction I've pulled that water or pigment down across the page. And it just is lovely. So don't worry about wet on wet, wet on dry. Put your color on the page and tell it where to go. And it's a wonderful way to create a lovely controlled wash and have that fluidity without it taking over your entire page.